angry in opposing ways about certain things. There you go. Right, coming up in a moment or two on the programme, chatting with Ipswich autism campaigner Gemma Grace about how the coronavirus restrictions have been for those on the spectrum. Then after the news at 8 o'clock, brand new music and circles on BBC Radio Suffolk. Now, a lot of people are struggling during the lockdown, and many of us have had to adapt to a very different rhythm of life quite quickly. For people on the autistic spectrum, that change is even more significant. Gemma Grace is an autism campaigner based in Ipswich. I spoke to her earlier about the good bits and bad bits of her lockdown so far.
Some of the bad bits, I suppose, for someone not on the spectrum is that the emotions can be quite difficult when you're not used to being in a different place, because luckily I've been able to go and self-isolate at my dad's house, so my mental health kind of, especially anxiety, took a dip recently because it's kind of affected me, so I've been lucky to go and stay there. So that was the difficult part, and being away from people as well, because I'm a very social person, and not being able to go near anybody has been quite frustrating, to say the least. I've had to learn to adapt to being away from everybody and just staying with my dad and my sister, which has been a hard change to my routine.
Yeah, I guess you are independent and you have your own routines and the things that you do day to day, and then suddenly, literally overnight, that is taken away. That's a big impact, isn't it?
Yeah, having the routine change is a big adaptation, because someone like me who's used to doing public speaking and my vlogging, things like that, and then to all of a sudden go from seeing people being social, talking about what I've done during the day, and then going, what now? Because I can't go out and see people. I can't go out and train or teach anybody because you're not allowed to be in social contact. So that was just a really big change to my routine. It took me a few weeks to adapt to the changes.
If we're looking at the needs that everyone has to have good mental health and well-being, that sense of purpose is very much one of them, and a lot of people finding their work vanishing and either being not given any work or furloughed or made redundant, that is a big impact. So that's something really important to a lot of people suddenly disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially if you're used to having that routine of working. Like I say, with me, it's having the constant reassurance of doing public training and being able to go out to the local media, have my voice heard, being able to try and help people learn about autism, and then all of a sudden that vanishes, like you say, overnight. It's been really difficult to adjust to it. But I've slowly learned to put things in my way to help me self-cope a little bit more, so it's been a bit more easier as the time's gone by.
So what have you been doing to help yourself do that?
I've been doing things like my poetry. I've been keeping up with my vlogging on YouTube. That's kind of my main focus right now, is my YouTube work, to kind of give me the peace and quiet that I need to do that and keep my routine in place. So I set myself 3 or 4 days a week. I pick the topic, I research it, and then I go on and record my videos pre-recorded, like we're kind of doing now on this phone call. I get to talk about what I'm interested in and what the topic is, and that kind of gives me a focus to keep busy during the day when I've got nothing else to do.
And that's important for everyone, actually, to if your routine suddenly goes, and for some people they will have no difference between whether they get up or not, especially if they've not got children in their household and they're maybe on their own. But to actually give you make sure you get up and you get out of your pajamas and you make the bed and you have breakfast and you try and have some semblance of routine.
Yeah, exactly. Having that routine is very, very important. Like I say, getting up and getting dressed took me a while to actually keep that routine going and going, come on, Gemma, you can do this and it's not so bad. And reassure myself to motivate myself to do the videos, and being able to help other people who are struggling just as much as I am, or if not more. So for me, that's the motivation to help somebody else who may find this lockdown more intense than what I've been dealing with.
Also, a lot of people may not have felt anxiety or the stress in the way that they are doing with this. There's a huge number of things to be worried and stressed about. And when we've spoken before, you've explained how you live day to day with anxiety and how you can sense when you need to do certain things. You showed me your tactile jewellery, for example, that you use to calm yourself down. So actually you are used to, in a way, coping and managing with situations that a lot of people maybe are coming to for the first time, which is interesting.
Yes, the tactile jewellery, actually, and you mentioned that, I've actually got one around my neck right now because I've been feeling quite sort of anxious the last few days. I'm sitting here going, okay, and I'm calm, everything's good, everything's organised, I've got my phone call, I've got my blogging to do this afternoon, I can do that, I can rest, I can chill. And then I'm thinking, but for someone else like myself, or someone with anxiety or related conditions, it's not as easy for them because they might not have the strategies such as the tactile joy to help them, so it's intensely difficult.
When you've been blogging, so you've been documenting how lockdown has been, and one of the things which is really nice about the work that you do is you're very, very honest and open about how things affect you. What kind of response have you had back? Have you had a new audience in a way because people are looking and searching for things online more?
Yeah, I've had quite a lot of more subscribers. I've had a lot of more comments on my YouTube channel sort of telling me that I'm encouraging people to cope, that they've found methods to sort of self-express how they feel about the lockdown, how it's affecting them. At the same time, they can kind of reflect on my situation and go, oh, well, for someone like you, it's more heightened because you've got the anxiety, you've got the autism, you've got the stress of the change of routine. So for me, it's I can reassure someone else who may be having anxiety, depression, or even autism for that matter, to self-isolate better and self-cope better with the techniques that I'm using.
So give me top 3 bits of advice, either for someone who is living or supporting, or maybe their friend is on the spectrum, they haven't seen them face to face. What things could they be doing to help?
Yeah, definitely. So I would definitely say check in with them, either a phone call via the internet or a telephone call would be definitely one way of keeping in touch. 2, check in with emails or online videos just to encourage each other. I do a lot of video calls with people from across the world who I'm friends with on YouTube, and that really does help me feel a lot better. They check in with me. Oh, how's your day today, Gemma? So something like that just to keep in contact with family. Also, I find things like colouring books or doing online writing, like my poetry or something creative. There's books that you can buy that are quite cheap, that you can get delivered quite quickly, or even just looking to watching movies online as well, or music videos. I find it's another beneficial thing for me. Music videos make me really calm and relaxed, so anything that's listening or got audio, I definitely would recommend to anybody.
Fantastic. So it's, yeah, as we look to easing lockdown, does that make you feel more or less anxious?
I have to say probably a little bit more anxious because it's the fact of having to adjust to another new routine and being back out in the public, and yeah, it's going to be a whole new change of routine and having to adjust to being out in the public again, which is going to be strange.
That's Suffolk autism campaigner Gemma Grace speaking to me a little bit earlier about how